Morning guys, welcome back to the One Auto channel. This one here behind me, 2004 Mini Cooper S. Might recognise it from the old exhaust video I did on this one. It's in today because he's got what sounds like a wheel bearing, driver's front, driving along 30 to 50 miles an hour. Give it a slight turn to the left, the weight of the car goes onto the right, you can hear the old wheel bearing grumbling at you. So we'll get this in the air and see what it looks like. Right, so the vehicle's up in the air. Just to give you a bit of a comparison, I hope it comes through on the video. Come out to the passenger side, which is a good wheel bearing. We'll give this a spin. Nice and quiet. Take it round to the other side and give this one a spin. Nice and graunchy. We've got some brand spanking new brake disc and pads put on here, put on by the customer. That's Brembo's. First thing we've got to do, whiz off this drive shaft nut. It's been cleaned over on the collar as it should be, so we just need to get that out. Use what you've got. Don't use this screwdriver. Don't do that. I've just got a little centre dot just to get it out. That'll help us whiz that undone. We've got 32 mil, I guess. Back spinning. Oh, it came undone anyway. Three in there. Blimey. First. So we've got inner drive shaft boot in there that's split as well. So we better address that. Yeah, let's show you that. You see that inner drive shaft? Look at that, it's been oozing out for a little while. There's crap everywhere, but look. Yeah, it's split. Still got most of its grease in there, so the joint should be okay. Just needs another gaiter putting on it. Yeah, so because of this other problem we've found here with the drive shaft boot, I'm going to approach this job differently. What I would normally do, as I would carry on with the wheel bearing, I need to take the ABS sensor out. Now the ABS sensor, if we can see down there, is held in with that Allen bolt just there. So that looks pretty crusty as well. Just checking the rest of the job out. The bolts that secure the wheel bearing assembly to the whole hub assembly to the carrier here, these bolts here. It looks like at one time or another they were probably, I don't know, 13 mil. They've corroded away, as you can see. Someone's even had a go at that one by the look of that. Yeah, it's got some telltale signs of some socket work on that one. There's absolutely nothing left of them, because normally what you would do, out that up there, you could pop the shaft out like that. You can get your bolts 1, 2, 3, 4 once the disc and the caliper and carrier are off, and then you could just whack the whole hub assembly off. Looking at the state of these, I'm just going to struggle with it in place. I'm going to take off the whole leg. I'm not even going to split it here, or I could split that bit. It's just all corroded and crappy. I'm going to take everything off, undo this bottom ball joint, undo the steering tie rod, anti-roll bar linkage at the top, just up there, and I'm going to take the whole complete suspension leg off in the vise. That way I can get the drive shaft completely out, obviously, and also I can get at those nasty looking bearing bolts. There's a nut down in there somewhere. squirty old juice. Squirt a bit of juice on there. I don't know if it'll do any good, but we shall see. On there. Get these, get the flexi out of its bracket, the ABS wire, if it will. It's a bit stubborn. I have to gently give it a little pry apart without trying to damage it. There we go. Hopefully I'll be able to get that out from there. That's the ideal way to do it when you've got the, when you're doing a wheel bearing. If not, when I'm taking the leg off, I'll follow the wire and I'll plug it up, unplug it inside, and bring the wire and everything with us. Right, let's get the caliper carrier and the brake disc off now. Okay, I'm not even going to take the brake pads out, there's no need. I can just undo this carrier just there. It looks like, I don't know what they are, what they were, I think they're 15s. So, hammer that on. Going on. Let's get a bit of a wobbly going. Loosely pop the bolt back in that one just to take the weight. That's it. I can lower it down then and get a hook on it. Right, take that out. Bit of the brake disc. Nice long flex on this hose here. So put that round there. So you can see the back to the threads here for the 4 bolts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They're a bit corroded. Just give them a bit of a squirty and a bit of a clean up. It can all be soaking. I'll redo that track rod one. Bottom ball joint, anti-rolling, ABS sensor, as much help as we can. Right, bottom ball joint then, it's supposed to be a 17mm, it's a bit corroded. Give that just a love tap to try and vibrate it loose. Lever that down. This time. That popped. Always put your nut on so you don't damage your thread. There are 2 bolts. You could pop it out of there, but again, don't really want to do that. It's so corroded. There we go. Right, let's raise it back up a bit. Alright. I should be able to get that out of there. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to take this shaft completely out of the gearbox because it's a small piece of shaft within a gaiter, goes into the bearing and then into the differential. I'm going to undo the clip, retaining clip for the boot, and pull it off, because on the end of the shaft there's just going to be the 3 yokes for the inner drive shaft joint, and hopefully from there there'll be a circlip, we'll be able to knock that off and replace the gaiter from that end. Right. There's the clip off. We pull that boot back. I'll just mark this so that your yokes go back into the same part of the joint here. We'll mark there, and we'll mark the drive shaft with a bit of correctional fluid. I lost my fluid there. So we'll mark there, and we'll mark just down on this bit, down there. So you should be able to pop that boot back. Out comes all the ooze. There we go. Like I said, you've got your 1, 2, 3 yokes there, which are just bearings in there, you see. So we've got this marked up, even though it's a bit oozy, and we'll be able to change this gaiter. So there should be a circlip on the end there. Yeah, just in. Oh, where are you? Yeah, just in there is a circlip we'll be able to take off and knock this off. Right, I might have a change of plan. What I'm going to try and do, rather than strip the leg out, just to see if it saves a bit of time, pop that ball joint back in there. Now the shaft's out of the way. Just loosely put the nut on it. Turn the wheel, knock the way round to the right, because it looks like we've got a lot of room to get at these bolts now. So I will try it. There's the ABS sensor. Right, let's have a look, see if we can get this ABS sensor out. It's a 5mm Allen key. It's pretty corroded and crappy in there, in that hole there. So let's get a little pick and go around with that. Tap. It's gone in. A few more little love taps. Vibrate it loose. That doesn't feel good. Feels like it's going to let go. Scrape it a bit more. Feels like it's made of cheese. Look, I've got a better 5mm. I've got a bigger 5mm. there. Not hopeful. No, that is starting to twist out, so I've got a little Torx that will fit in there. 227. Too big, that's a 40. That's a 30. No, 30 is too big. Well, last ditched attempt before I give up on this one. This is a little M6, little Ribe. It's like a Torx but with flat edges on it. Not meant for this application, but sometimes you've got to do what you can. Hopefully that will grip that and pull it out. If it doesn't, we'll carry on and leave it in. Yeah, lucky boy. A bit wobbly, but it's coming out. The thing is as well, there it is. The thing is as well, will the actual sensor come out? It's all well and good now we've got the bolt out. We can replace the bolt and the thread's okay. Will the sensor come out? Is the sensor corroded? At least we can get to the back of it now to give it some squirty. I'll leave that on there. See if I can get it moving. Wiggle, wiggle, left and right. Is that moving this end? Is it just flexing the plastic? It's moving it a bit, I think. Squirt, squirt. Squirt, squirt, squirt from down there. This is handy actually because I can wiggle it here and I'm looking at the little screen on the camera and I can see what's going on. Wiggle, wiggle. Because they're only made of plastic, these things. So it's moving. Left and right, left and right. Come on. See it moving there? I think we're moving alright. Let's give it a bit more squirty. Come on, out it comes. Come on. Beautiful. There it is. Ooh, lucky boy. Wicked, so we managed to get that out. Awesome. Hopefully I don't have to take this leg off now. Just stick that around there, tuck it out of the way. So back up in the air, see if we can get these bolts out. So I've got the new ball bearing kit, I'll show you that in a minute, but it's come with new bolts which are 13mm. I don't know if these were ever 13mm, but we'll see. What is this one? This is a 13mm, that flies round, so does that. That sort of fits, and that flies round. So, what have we got there? This is a 12. Might grip it. I will try these first. That one won't really go on. that might go on if we hit it. Well, I'll be blowed. That's pretty loose. That was scarily loose, to be fair. Try this one, hammer that on. Got that one. Right, 12mm back on that one. So it doesn't really want to go on very much, so I might have to try it with a 13 first. I can find what I did with it. 13. It's a bit loose, but it might break a bit of corrosion off, and then I'll hammer a 12 on. Now that's spinning. There's 12 in there. Get a little extension. If these will hammer on fine. If not, I've got some like extractor socket set that might get them out. Started, so take that off, whack it a bit more. That's good, that's sent that home. Beautiful! Alright, one more left, which is pretty rounded. Someone's definitely had a go at that before, so it's on. Not convincing me that it's going to stay on. No, a bit too loose for it. What have we got? So these are the socket set that I was talking about. They've got like these teeth in here that as you go on, it winds itself on, grips, and then undoes it. So that's 12mm that's just going to spin and chew it up. I've got an 11mm one there, but that's too small, I think. Let's try the 12 one, just manually with a ratchet. Right, that doesn't want to know. I've got these other sockets as well, which are the ones that are like that, you see? So they fit pretty much any hex. They're also good, I've found, for when you get them like this. They will grip on a different part of the hex than what a normal socket will, and help you undo it. That's not that much. We'll try that one. No. Come on, we've got so far, man. We've got so far. I'm going to take the leg off just for that one bolt. I've got 11mm impact, normal one. I'll and get that started. You've got to do what you can, guys. That's the 12 back on. It's got a good grip, you know. It's got a good grip. Try and whiz bang it. Come on then. Give it a press as well. Ah! Thought it was going to go. Come on. Yes! Oh, then it slipped. Don't slip, you started to undo. Come on, man! Oh no, it's slipping again. You've got a gap there now, you can't stay on. Oh, right. Come on, be a good boy. Oh yeah. Slipped again. A little bit more squirty. I'll get in there with the old faithfuls. This is the question. Probably not. Or not enough. It's moving. It's moving. There we go. It's getting freer and freer. I was just thinking what my next plan of action would be if this didn't free it off. I think what I'll probably do, break the welder out and probably weld a nut or a bolt onto this one so I've got a good hex to get to. I don't know whether that would work, but it'd be worth a go. Right, I'll keep going on this and get back to you in a bit. So I found an old 1/2 inch 3/8 multi-spline socket and I've hammered that on. So I think we've got some movement. Couldn't be bothered to do it with those mould grips all the time. There we go. Doesn't feel brilliant, but let's just keep working it back in and out. Of course, I haven't got any oxyacetylene. If I had, I'd just blow the head of that bolt off there. So, it wasn't a 3/8, so it's a 3/16 Whitworth socket I've got there. And it's doing the job, boys. Take it nice and slow. Loads of juice. And out she pops. Yeah. That was bloody easy, wasn't it? And there it is. What a friggin' nightmare. Let's see if I can free it from the back here with the old air hammer. This is called Not Quite Nasty Enough. It's moving. There we go, boys. Ta-da! Okay, so this back plate is a little bit corroded out. It'll be okay, still held on. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one here was just encroaching where the new bearing's going to sit. It's not, yeah, it's just corroded. You're not going to get a screwdriver in there. I thought, well, I'll just tap it round. It's actually just tap loose, you see. So I should just take that screw out. We're not going to need it. It's not doing anything. This has been corroded for years looking at it. I'll take that out of the way and then I'll clean all this up properly then, you see. So, what have we got? Let's start off with a bit of a wire wheel. All this, we want to be cleaning all of this face and all inside where the new bearing is going to fit on. Okay, that's nice and clean, inside and out. I'm just going to run a little round file down the hole where the ABS sensor goes. See it coming out just there. Not taking any metal away, just a bit of corrosion. So, just blow that out. And it's a good idea at this point, just to make sure that it does go back in okay. It's all nice and clean. Let's just put a bit of grease to aid installation. And, this is just a bit of silicone grease, whatever you've got, not copper slip, just in case it affects anything. I don't know if it will, you never know. Looks to go down easy enough, there we are, there it is, so that's okay, cool. Take that out of the way for time being. We'll re-grease that in a minute. Excellent. So next we have the new wheel bearing. Take the cap off the back and there's your ABS pickup ring at the back. That's better than the old one. I just picked this one up from GSF, this one. There's the part number there if you need it. And we get new bolts and a new hub nut. So these bolts, I've just checked the spec, check for your particular car. For this particular car, they've done up 20 Newton meters, 90 degrees, and then 15 degrees. So I'll just put a bit of lube around there as well. Hopefully that will give it a bit of protection in case it needs to be done again. Before nature's Loctite corrodes it in there. Right, that's the lube on there. Now they're an odd shape, they will only go on one way. You've got more of a curve that side than you have that side, so looking at that, that's the way it goes on this way. If it's the wrong way, it ain't going to fit. So the torque wrench set on 20. There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. 90 degrees, quarter of a turn on each one. But I've already nipped these quite tight. That's as much as I need to go on that one. You just know and not to go any more. 2, 3, 4. I'm happy with that. That's going nowhere. Sounds lovely. So that's that all back together. It's nice and quiet now. Need to now do the inner drive shaft gaiter and then reassemble it. But that'll do for part 1. We'll come back and see you in part 2.